This is going to be a pretty straightforward video. If you're even watching this at all, you have it in you. And it may seem like online there's millions and millions of people that are doing so much better than you, but in all reality, you're just seeing the top 1% of the people who are just doing it at all. I promise you, from working in different jobs like hospitality, serving at different restaurants, there are so many people out here that do not have the confidence in themselves. They don't want to take a risk on their ego. They don't want to take a risk at all. So I commend you for even being in this video in the first place. I literally spent years of my life bouncing from job to job, trying to figure out even what I like doing. Now that I'm 28, I've really found that helping other people gain confidence, become better creators, and monetize off their audience has been something that's actually felt like my purpose is being met, finally. Before, I was kind of just aimlessly trying to become an animator in LA, trying to break into the industry in Burbank, listening to so many different podcasts, taking so many different courses, different mentorships, failing at mentorships, rebuying them, and because it was a pass-fail situation, and I was relentless. But what I realized was I had this goal in mind, and I was obsessed with getting to that goal. The only issue was the goal wasn't very refined. The goal was just to become an animator, whether it was games, whether it was in film. And what I realized from that is that I wasn't going to make the type of money, the type of business that I really wanted to do with animation. It sucks because I loved it, and I still do. I love it as a form of art, and I didn't necessarily think that 3D animation was going to be the thing that was going to carry me to the goals I wanted in life. So during that whole time, I was obviously painting. I was working as an artist, doing things in the background, which may or may not have slowed down the process to become an animator in the first place. But I'm thankful for that, because if I was stuck in a cubicle in LA, I think I would have been very upset at this very point. But it took me to see, it really, really took me to see the industry with my own eyes to make my assumptions about it. I went to a convention in LA. I live in Florida, by the way, so it was cross country. Went to a convention to learn, meet my mentors, meet other students, and meet people that were actually doing it the best in the industry. Essentially, it was like a mini job fair mixed with like a graduation for the school that I was going to. So I was there. Didn't leave the hotel for 4 days. I was meeting a bunch of people, listening to panels. It was super fun. What I was actually doing was showing myself that this was possible, showing myself that I could fly out, do this if I wanted to. But in the back of my mind, I knew that I still had a long way to go, and the job wasn't necessarily as sweet as I thought it was. So I didn't do enough research, and that was my issue. Either way, when it comes to what you're doing, maybe the dream that you have is an overarching theme you've had for 10 years. Maybe it's to own a piece of property, own a piece of land, or maybe it's to become who knows? Like maybe it's to become a professional gamer. Who knows? Something along those lines, and it might be hurting you because you don't necessarily know the cost of what it's going to take to get there. What could really happen in that situation is that you might be doing it for the wrong reasons, because it might be an outdated dream of yours. Just because it was a dream when you were 18 doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a dream of yours when you're 25. I get kind of having that like cohesive storyline, but it doesn't necessarily serve you if it's not serving you, I guess. That's the easiest way to put it. But if it's not serving you, if you don't necessarily have all the variables figured out. I didn't necessarily know how much animators got paid in LA, especially the way the job market went. Apparently I never actually worked in the industry, but what I was hearing is you would get 3-month jobs, and then you have to reapply for other 3-month gigs, and you kind of have to keep doing that until one big studio took you over and you became a junior animator there for 3, 4, or 5 years, who knows. But in the meantime, you're eating shit, working 40 hours a week, maybe more, and you're living in LA with high expenses, and it just didn't seem exactly what I wanted to do. Now, it did sound appealing when I was in high school and in like early college and not making much money. But once I learned how to make more money with my hospitality jobs, working at better restaurants, I would have to take a pay cut to get into the industry. And at that point, it wasn't really worth it to go into more debt for school and then to go into more debt because I'm going to an industry that I'm being paid less in. That leads me to entrepreneurship and business, and I'm so enthralled by it. I'm obsessed. I listen to podcasts all day long about it. And yes, I'm an artist, I'm a creative, I'm standing in my studio, but it's not necessarily my whole entire brand. When it comes to personal branding, people get it so wrong. You don't have to be one two-dimensional thing anymore. You don't have to be, hey, I'm Joey, I'm the painter. Hey, I'm Joey, I'm the painter all the time, showing my paintings, showing my paintings, showing my paintings. Because that's how it used to be. You can still make it work that way. But the personal brand, letting people in on your life and your journey, definitely has a big impact on retention and people actually learning who you are. I knew for a fact that art wasn't my only interest, my only passion, but it is a big one. I have a whole studio for it. I've got paintings all around me. I love painting. It definitely takes my mind off the real world and taps me into something a little bit different. But I love business. I love helping people. I love seeing growth of any potential. So make it easier on yourself. Pick 3 things that you really love to do. Make one of them about health, wealth, and relationships. Then you got your personal brand outline. You got your pillars. So mine's pretty much entrepreneurship, mindset, art. Love all those things, right? So why not make my videos about those things? Make any sort of content that I'm making, any story that I'm posting, make it about the things that I think is cool, things that I love to do. That's how you're gonna be able to attract the people that are most like you, and you're gonna get the most eyes that are eventually gonna convert into sales of whatever you're trying to sell. Everyone needs to monetize off their audience, but it definitely sure does help, right? And I'm sure that you're not building your personal brand to not monetize off of something along the lines when you have a lot of followers. So that's just point blank period there. I'm not just gonna sit here and preach and say that I'm rich, because I'm definitely not. I'm definitely got a long way to go. And that's why I love documenting the journey, because I want to look back on these videos 3 or 4 years from now and be like, oh, wow, I'm so proud of him for actually getting on camera, speaking as if it's his purpose, and showing people what he loves to do when it didn't necessarily pay off, right? That's the whole point. It's a long game. It's an investment in yourself. It's getting you out of your comfort zone, and it might not seem like it's going to pay off, but it will, as long as you stay consistent and determined. And that's why I said at the beginning of the video that you have it in you, because you're even watching this video in the first place. There's no reason why you would just tap on this video out of curiosity and stay till now to listen. So I really struggled trying to pick out what I was gonna make this video about today and get on camera to talk about, but I was struggling with a lot of things. I was struggling to get to the studio in the first place with traffic. I was trying to set up lights and all these different things that didn't really mean much. I just needed to jump on camera and say what I needed to say. I didn't have a script. I didn't have anything I needed to talk about, but I knew I had something inside me to preach. I've gotten semi-addicted to just jumping on camera and talking now, because it's been really fun and rewarding to be able to kind of speak my mind. Instead of being on short form video on Instagram, it can feel a little bit constricting, because either I'm trying to attach, get eyeballs, or trying to do that. It feels like I can only say so much on Instagram, but on YouTube, I feel like I've been able to speak my mind on here, and it's been nice. So I hope that's been good for you guys. And I'll leave you with one last thing. If this is something that you really want to do, you want to build your brand, you want to build up the people around you, you want to show people what you love to do, and you want to make your life so much better because you're crafting the existence that you always craved, then start posting online. Start getting disciplined and showing up for yourself day in and day out. It's definitely not easy, and I'm not trying to make it seem like it just takes posting, but I'm going to tell you how important it is to grow your personal brand, get eyes on your work, and scale your audience, right? Or monetize off your audience. But we already know how important those things are. We know that brand deals exist. We know that AdSense exists on YouTube. We know all these things now. We know that the more people you have, it's just a numbers game to be able to sell them something that you're passionate about. Sell them something that you can craft a life around. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you how important that is, because it's honestly just something that chooses you at the end of the day. Like, you chose this video, it's something that chooses you at the end of the day. It chooses the intensity of how you want to actually interact with these things. If you don't want to do it, you just won't do it. No matter who tells you to do it, who coaches you to do it, you'll show up to the calls, you won't have any videos posted, and that's just it. Like, you want it. Some people want it. Some people don't want it that bad. People ask me how I've been growing on Instagram so fast, and it's because I'm posting consistently and not missing a day. I'm posting multiple times a day sometimes. And they want to chalk it up to having this awesome content system. They want it to say like I'm so type A and I'm scheduling all these posts per week. And it's not like that. It's growing that daily habit of just chipping away at it and making it so much of a habit that it's something I don't even think I'm doing. I just do it. And it's not something that actually negatively impacts my day. I just know it's something I need to get done that day. Just like I need to do the dishes or I need to do the laundry. It just becomes one of those daily tasks that kind of is inconsequential. And in the background, I know that something's always scaling in the back, which is actually super rewarding because when it comes to art and creativity in general, that we can go into these art block phases. And I know it's, I've always kind of like went back and forth on whether or not art block is real, but it is sometimes. You know, you can overdo it. You can put too much pressure on yourself for a commission and you can't create. But when it comes to like following trends, posting social media content, it sometimes doesn't really feel the same burnout art block kind of vibes. So I can always keep going on there when the art isn't necessarily there for me. And that's what I really think is cool about it. So no matter how my creativity goes, at least something in the background is building and that's helping me in the long run, right? Well, this is probably a little bit of a quick one. Wanted to just come on here and talk because it is Friday night and you feel so good when you're doing something important on a Friday night when everyone else is out drinking. Either way, if any of this affected you in a deeper level, please let me know in the comments. If you want to work with me directly, the link will be in the description. Love y'all. Hope to see you in the next one.